How to lose fat for good. Today we're talking about the ultimate 5 pillars when it comes to losing body fat forever. Finally get rid of all the unwanted weight for good. And if you're here today, it's probably because you're interested in getting the truth, right? You're sick and tired of all the confusing information out there about how to lose fat, all the different diets. Well, what I've done is simplify it for you. I've broken down what I consider to be the 5 main pillars to losing fat for good. And we're gonna talk about that in today's video. So let's jump in. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Josiah Novak, and I used to be over 60 pounds overweight. It took me a long time to come to where I am now, which is in shape, keeping weight off, and helping thousands of people all over the world do the same thing. And what I found is that there are 5 key areas that most people neglect when it comes to their fat loss transformation. Sure, there's plenty of diets, workouts, supplements, strategies that will help you lose weight, but what's really gonna help you keep it off for good? Let's discover the 5 key pillars right now. Okay, pillar number 1, and this is honestly the most important thing. And if you get this right, well, you're gonna be on your way to success very, very quickly. Pillar number 1 when it comes to losing fat for good, your mindset. Yes, I know, don't click off the video, please, but listen, mindset is crucial. And the most important thing is how you go into a body transformation phase. How you start losing the weight, the mindset that you have has to be dialed in. And the simple way to put it is you have to accept that fitness and losing fat, fitness itself is forever, okay? Losing fat will be a phase that you go through, but ultimately taking care of yourself, taking care of your body is a forever thing. So you have to adopt this way of thinking if you want long-term success. We gotta ditch the 90-day plans, the 30-day plans, the get rip quick schemes, if you will. We ultimately have to really rewire how we think. Taking care of ourselves needs to be a priority. Look, I hear it all the time. People say things like, I do anything for my family. I do anything for the people I love. Is that really true though? Anything? Because ultimately the number one thing you can do for yourself and to be able to take care of those you care about is to take care of your body, all right? If you're not around, good luck taking care of the people you love, right? So you got to adopt the mindset that is, hey, I'm in this game forever, so what I do now has to be sustainable so that I can not only get results, but ultimately keep them forever. Our mindset is pillar number 1. So you might be thinking that I'm gonna talk about motivation, but I did a whole video on motivation that you can actually check out right here if you click this card up above, which I think it should be there. But ultimately motivation comes from your mindset, but here's the trick. Motivation follows action. So you have to trick your brain into actually doing something so you get a quick result and ultimately feel excited about continuing down the path. So I made another video, I'll put it over here this time. It's called the 10-minute rule, and it ultimately gives you a hack to hack your mindset into doing things you don't want to do. I'm not going to get into it on this video, but if you watch this one, you'll get the whole game plan so that you can stop feeling unmotivated and start taking action today. Let's head on to pillar number 2. All right, pillar number 2 is movement. All right, so we're going to cover the diet stuff, I promise, but as a society today, we are very sedentary, meaning we just don't really move a whole lot. So we got to start moving our bodies more. This is once again a permanent change. So we got to stop being the person that sits around all day and start being the person that uses their body. So movement is crucial. And what I have our clients do inside of our programs is track their movement every day. We use this, or we do this by tracking our steps. All right. So a simple way to figure out how much you're moving every day is to use your smartphone or a smartwatch of some kind. I don't have either one, so I'm a horrible example right now, but you can track how much you move using those devices. As a general rule of thumb, most of our clients aim for between 8 to 12,000 steps a day. We don't get there overnight. Let's say if they're averaging 2 to 3,000 steps per day right now, we'll slowly bump things up until they find that nice groove where they're getting in that range, all right? This is crucial for not just how you look good or how you look naked or whatever, but it's ultimately good for your mindset because walking more just helps you clear your head, helps you get in better energy, but also good for long-term health. There's many studies that show that people who walk more live longer. And that's a big deal, right? So move your body, get off the couch, stop sitting around all day, find little pockets in your calendar to move more, and I guarantee that will generate both short-term and long-term success. Let's move to pillar number 3. All right, we're here in the kitchen talking about pillar number 3, which is macros, short for macronutrients, which of course we're referring to the meals that you eat on a daily basis. And I'm gonna give you a very fast crash course on what you need to worry about when it comes to the food that you put in your body. The first rule is calories. I've talked about this on numerous videos, but I'll continue to talk about it until people start to understand you have to control your calories. In order to lose fat, you need to burn more calories than you eat, long enough so that your body utilizes fat in the body and ultimately you get as lean as you want to be. Okay, that is the overall rule no matter if you eat all healthy food or a bunch of processed junk. You have to control your calories. That being said, that's not the only thing you got to worry about. I would highly suggest you avoid processed food as much as possible and stick to whole, natural foods as best you can. It does so much for your body, it does so much for your appetite, and it's going to help you lose fat more efficiently. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is get enough protein. Most people skip protein altogether. They go for the yummy stuff, right? The carbs, the fats, the things that taste good. I totally get it. You can have those things too, but just make sure you knock out your protein goal. 1 gram of protein per pound of goal body weight per day. It's a good target. If you're not perfect, don't worry about it, but ultimately try to get as close to that as possible. If all you get right are those 3 things, control your calories, eat less processed crap, get enough protein, you're gonna be well on your way to not only losing a ton of fat, but keeping it off forever. Let's move to pillar number 4. Okay, so pillar number 4, I should probably go to the gym for this one, but we're gonna talk about muscle for pillar number 4. Now, there's a whole notion that training with weights is gonna get you too big, or you have people who go, I wanna train with weights, but I don't wanna get too jacked. And let me just save you the suspense. You're not going to. It's impossible, okay? The guys you see and the girls you see walking around who are overly built, they're more than likely genetic freaks who work their butts off and build an amazing physique, or they use extracurricular substances like steroids. Now, I'm not accusing anyone of steroids. Don't get me wrong. It still takes an enormous amount of work and dedication. But if you have a little bit of help, you're gonna see a little bit extra results, right? So don't worry about getting too jacked. Think about muscle as your safety net to keeping you moving and active for the rest of your life, all right? What do you think powers your body as you get older? It's gonna be muscle. Besides obviously your heart and lungs and all that stuff, muscle keeps your body able to move in healthy movement patterns, standing up, sitting down, getting out of bed. The reason why people get older and they complain of not being able to move around enough is because they don't strengthen their body. Simple enough, right? So think of muscle as your armor, okay? It keeps you safe, and there's studies also showing that people with a decent amount of muscle fight off disease and illness better, which of course in today's day and age, that's a huge thing, right? We want to keep our immune system healthy. So muscle and training with weights and resistance is really important. Don't think you have to train like a bodybuilder. You can do body weight, you can do bands, you can do dumbbells, you can do a variety of things. I have clients who use sandbags and kettlebells, right? Just do resistance training so that you build or at least strengthen the muscle that you have. That is a crucial pillar in our 5 pillars. Let's go on to the last pillar and we talk about something deep before we wrap things up. Okay, last pillar. And I'm going to encourage you to do some thinking with this one because the last pillar is meaning. And what meaning refers to is your reasoning behind taking care of yourself. It's one thing to have the right mindset and to be strong and to eat the right macros and do the cardio and all that stuff. But there are going to be days where you don't want to do things. There might be months where you have a lot going on and you have to remind yourself of why you're taking care of yourself. Why is health and fitness part of your life? I pulled out a picture of my kids because this is why I care about being in shape. It's not just about looking good. It's not just about feeling good and hopefully living to 100 or whatever, right? It's ultimately being the father that they need in their lives because I never had that, right? So I'm trying to change history, if you will. And I know that my mood, my energy, the way I show up for them will ultimately be second tier if I don't take care of myself. If I'm overweight, if I'm unhealthy, if I have enormous medical bills, if I lose my whole business because I have a heart attack and I can't work anymore. I know it's scary to talk about those things, but it's never something we should avoid. We should ultimately face reality. But here's the trick, okay? We all have a why. You have a why, I have one. You might have a couple different reasons for taking care of yourself. Here's where people mess up. They don't remind themselves of why they're doing this. They don't have a system to remind themselves of why they actually work out. Ultimately, you need to set up a fail-proof system so that on days where you're struggling to get things done, you can quickly pull something up. I'm gonna give you a quick hack, all right? If you have a smartphone, download the app Google Photos. I know it's crazy, but like ultimately it's gonna pay off. So have a link to your photos. They start to map out albums for you based off the people that you surround yourself with, okay? And in my case, it's my kids, my wife, my family, and all that stuff. And ultimately, they're gonna create these little videos, these little montages, if you will, of events in your life. And here's why I believe that this is a great hack. Because ultimately, it's gonna remind you on a daily basis. You can pull it open, it'll remind you randomly at times of experiences that you have with people you care about. And I know that most of you watching this have people that you care about that you wanna be around for. So it's a quick way to instantly remind you of why you do what you do, both in your fitness life, in your financial life, in your business, wherever you put your energy. Reminding yourself of why that's so important is a crucial step in the process. So that, my friends, is the 5 pillars. Let's close things out. Now, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully this helped. This is going to not only help you lose fat, but keep it off for good. And ultimately, all I can ask of you is to give me some feedback. Let me know what other questions you have about getting in shape, staying in shape, and taking care of yourself. Leave a comment below if you have additional questions in regards to just being fit and healthy. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, I'd highly suggest you do. We're releasing 2 videos a week on transforming your body and your life. Leave a comment, let me know what other topics you want covered, and make sure you leave a thumbs up on the video letting me know you enjoyed it. Visit my website, thetruetransformation.com, if you want to get more programs or more resources on how to stay in shape. My name is Josiah Novak. I'll talk to you on the next video. Peace.